New tonight, police are investigating a suspicious death in Van Buren. Captain Stephen Staggs confirmed to 5 News they are looking into this death. So far, what we know right now is that this morning around 11 o'clock, officers responded to the scene of South 40th Street. Captain Staggs says no further details on this case are being released at this time, since this investigation is ongoing. Stay with 5 News on this developing story. New at 10, a bill to lift the ban on farming on the Buffalo River passed in the Arkansas Senate and is now set to go before the Arkansas House this week. 5 News reporter Parker Abels explains why some people are upset this bill is moving forward.
Senate Bill 290 looks to eliminate an environmental permit moratorium that protects the quality of the Buffalo River watershed. Mark Lambert with the Arkansas Farm Bureau says the bill aims to protect farmers.
This is a right to farm. This does not strip away any moratorium, does not take away the Lake Maumelle moratorium, nor the Buffalo River moratorium.
But many people at the meeting disagree and think this bill will hurt the quality of the water.
My parents took me to the Buffalo River when I was 5 years old and said, "Rich, you'll be able to see every pebble at the bottom of the river." And they were right. And I was just up there last week, and they're still right. But it's because the river has been protected.
Love it very much, and we love it because of the river and the beauty and the natural environment and the cleanliness of the environment, and we would do anything to keep it that way.
Kip Kruger with the Arkansas chapter of Backcountry Hunter and Anglers agrees, saying ending the moratorium on the Buffalo River watershed would hurt thousands of Arkansans.
Moratoriums were put into place because they are extremely sensitive in special areas within the state. The Maumelle River watershed delivers water to over 450,000 Arkansans. And of course, the Buffalo National River is the crown jewel of the state. It's America's first national river.
And he doesn't think anything needs to change.
The bill makes it so that every 4 years, any moratorium in place has to be reviewed and approved again. Anything that makes it worthy of a moratorium is not going to change in 4 years. Arkansans still need clean drinking water, and the karst geology of the buffalo is not going to change in 4 years.
However, the bill's sponsor, Senator Blake Johnson from Arkansas District 21, says the bill will protect agriculture in the state.
Gives us a better step in the rulemaking process to protect agriculture production in the state of Arkansas.
Covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
Governor Sanders has signed the Second Amendment Financial Privacy Act into law. It will take effect later this summer and will ban financial institutions like your bank or credit card company from tracking firearms or firearm-related purchases. It also bans the government from having any records of firearm ownership except for weapons reported stolen. This only applies to in-state purchases, and the Attorney General will be in charge of enforcing the law. This week, an Arkansas Senate committee is scheduled to take up a bill that will improve the lives of those who get an early diagnosis of Alzheimer's. 5 News anchor Darren Bobb tells us it's a bill that will help these patients get the treatment they need.
I was a very, very good candidate for this infusion treatment.
Steve Daniels is a retired teacher in Arkansas and was recently diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. The insurance he carried through the state retirement system refused to pay for the drug Leqembi, better known as lecanemab.
That was denied on the front end. So went through an appeal process of first level and second level appeals, and both of those were denied. And so had to pick up the remainder of the cost out of pocket.
Daniels was able to get this treatment with his Medicare picking up a big chunk of the cost. The rest, as he says, came out of his pocket. The FDA-approved treatment slows Alzheimer's if detected early, which is what happened in Daniels' case. David Cook with the Arkansas Alzheimer's Association says this bill ensures all state and public school employees have access to the treatment with their insurance plans paying for it.
These treatments do not offer a cure, but they do promise more time for families to participate fully in life, more time for families to, again, plan for the future. And state employees deserve that because they paid into the system.
He says the fight to get this bill approved now moves to the state Senate.
And our position at the association is that these decisions should be made in clinician offices and not be caught up in bureaucratic red tape, which is where it's at right now. And so we're going to continue to push to make sure that our state employees have access that they deserve.
As for Daniels, he says he'd like to see as many people as possible get this early treatment.
it'll really impact a lot of state employees and teachers and retired teachers. And it's a great bill, and it's going to help a lot of people, and hopefully it'll get passed.
Covering news where you live, I'm Darren Bobb, 5 News.
The full House passed this measure last Thursday. A Senate committee is supposed to discuss the bill on Tuesday. We've learned that Bentonville-based retailer Walmart is buying land in the Taneytown area. According to our partners at Arkansas Business, the seller of the land were reality TV stars Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar from the show 19 Kids and Counting. Walmart recently spent more than $4.5 million for around 16 acres on Highway 412. Walmart has also spent another $5.5 million for a separate 27-acre lot adjacent to the land it bought from the Duggars. A second child in Texas has died from a measles-related illness. Health officials in Lubbock confirmed today that a school-age child who was unvaccinated died last week. The doctors described the death as a result of pulmonary failure. This is the second death linked to a growing measles outbreak. The first death was in February, and it was another unvaccinated school-age child. Texas health officials spoke on the outbreak this weekend, saying right now one of the biggest areas of concern is a daycare in Lubbock linked to several recent cases.
If there's an exposure, so for example, in this daycare, we're recommending every child 6 months and older to get their vaccine, and then all of the ones that are verdict get their first. If they're under 4, still getting that extra dose.
Texas has almost 500 cases of measles, and total U.S. cases are now double the number in all of 2024. Americans are bracing for the week ahead after President Trump's new tariffs unsettled investors and led to heavy losses on Wall Street. With stock futures showing a similar fate tomorrow, President Trump spoke to reporters tonight on Air Force One, holding steady to his plan to put tariffs on dozens of U.S. trading partners.
Unsustainable for us to allow China to have surpluses of $1 trillion. We will be taking in over $1 trillion over the next short period of time with the tariffs that I've already instituted. They're already in place. Now, what's going to happen with the market, I can't tell you, but I can tell you our country has gotten a lot stronger.
The sweeping tariffs on goods from countries around the world set off the worst 2-day Wall Street sell-off since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic.